Question 4. So this is showing parts of the human digestive system. So once again, we will just briefly go through very quickly what each and every one of these are. So this is your digestive system, and K here, this is of course your pancreas, and this is your large intestine, this is the small intestine. Okay, and this one here is actually the structure of a villus, and this can be found in the small intestine. And here you have your blood capillary, which is the M, and here in this structure here that is always covered by the blood capillary, this is the lacteal, which is N. So name structure K, this is pancreas. On the diagram 4.1, label the position that you can find the villus using letter L. So villus, as I said, you can find in the small intestine, so this would be the position of L. Next, you need to name the structure of M and N. So before that, and you need to state one substance that is absorbed into each and every one of them. So structure M is your blood capillary, N is your lacteal. So blood capillary, lacteal. Blood capillary, it absorbs water and water-based vitamins like B and C. It can also absorb glucose and also amino acids. Lacteal is always related to lipid or fatty acid, so things that has to do with fats, lipids. So you can put lipid, fatty acid, and as well as fats dissolvable proteins such as vitamin A, D, E, K, or in short the AD vitamin. So you can put any of this, and you should be able to then get 4 marks, or 1 mark for each of these points here. Next, you are shown a diagram to compare a normal condition and an unhealthy condition in the human rectum during defecation. So this is a normal condition. You have the rectum, you have the normal stool. Over here is an unhealthy condition where you can see that the rectum is kind of enlarged, and they also say here you have large and hard stool. So based on this diagram, explain why the stool has become hard and large. So the first thing you must think of when it comes to unhealthy stool would be lack of dietary fiber, and this is kind of condition that will lead to constipation. So lack of dietary fiber will be the first point. Secondly, you can also say that there is more absorption of the water from the stool, which means the stool now has less water, and when you have less water, the stool will become really hard. And also because thirdly, you can also additionally add that the stool probably has remained in the rectum for too long of a time. That's why it keeps accumulating and gets larger. So these are the points that you can put as to why the stool become hard and large. Next, they ask you what happens if the condition here is prolonged. So number 1, we already said constipation will occur. Number 2, it will also cause rectal bleeding or hemorrhoids. So if you have such a hard stool and you are releasing this from the rectum, it will also cause injury to the rectal tissues, and therefore you have bleeding. And of course, if you have accumulated waste which should be excreted regularly, and is not, this will then increase the risk of colon cancer. So these are the 3 possible points that you can put in. Next, you are given another diagram. Here it shows the transportation of glucose molecules from small intestine to the liver, and then it's distributed to the body cells. So it's moving in this direction from here, the small intestine, all the way to the body cells. So you are required to explain why the blood glucose is different in the hepatic portal vein here and in the hepatic vein. So number 1, you have to state always what is the condition. So which of these veins has, because it says that the blood glucose level is different, so you have to say which of these has a higher, which of it has a lower one. So because you see that the glucose molecule is coming from this direction through here, and then afterwards through the liver, then only to the hepatic vein, which means the hepatic portal vein would have more glucose compared to the hepatic vein. So this is what you wrote. What you write, number 1, glucose level is higher in the hepatic portal vein compared to the hepatic vein. Number 2, Why is that so? Number 2, glucose from the small intestine is being transported to the liver via this hepatic portal vein here. So this is why you have more here. And once the glucose has reached the liver, the excess glucose will be converted into glycogen in the liver, and this is of course by the insulin, and the resulting sugar level in the hepatic vein will be much lower. So in a very logical way, in a step-by-step manner, you can answer this question using the diagram itself. So you have 3 points here that you can put, and this you are allocated about 2 marks over here.